Hello everyone, it's April. Today we are doing our July book club pick for my Patreon. If you don't know, I have a little Patreon book club. The link is always in the description box below. And every month I go through an assortment of books based on a theme and dwindle it down to 2, and then it's over to my patrons to decide which book we will read together. And today we're doing July. The theme for July is road trip. I've got 4 books here that I want to share with you, all based on road trips. The first book I want to share with you is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is coming out at the very end of June. June 29th, I think. And Survive the Night follows 2 strangers. We have Charlie and Josh. Josh is behind the wheel. They have met on a ride board. Essentially, it's 1991. There's a ride board at their college campus, and she is, I think, needing a ride to get home for Thanksgiving or something along those lines. And so she gets a ride from Josh. And she is really struggling in this time because her best friend was recently murdered by a college campus serial killer. This is the 3rd death. And her best friend just happens to be that person, which is very sad. Josh is also struggling for his own reasons. I think he's dealing with some issues with his father. He needs to go home and take care of his father. They're both struggling, basically. And on the ride home, Charlie, our main character, gets a weird feeling about Josh. She thinks that Josh might actually be the serial killer. So she just needs to survive the night. Sounds like so much fun. We're going to read the first line for these in case it gives us some sense of like which ones to choose, basically. Okay. Fade in, parking lot. Okay, that's not a 5-star first line, but could be really good. I mean, it's Riley Sager. I will 100% be reading this summer at some point. The next book is a road trip, but on foot. This is The Road by Cormac McCarthy. This is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize. No, I think he just has won the Pulitzer Prize in the past. So The Road is a apocalyptic dystopian story in which something has gone terribly wrong with the world and people are struggling to survive this apocalyptic thing. I don't even know the story behind that. It's caused people to act like their worst selves, like Walking Dead worst selves. You know how in the Walking Dead, like, yes, there are zombies, but there are also the horribleness of people. So we follow a father and son who are walking alone on the road. They are aiming to get to the coast, but along the way, they meet some rather nasty people and they're trying to get away from everyone to just kind of travel solo just to make it to the coast. And they are only armed with a pistol, I think. They have to find food, all of that. It sounds really intense. I've heard that it's very emotional as well. This would be my first Cormac McCarthy. So, all right, let's read the first line. When he woke in the woods, in the dark and the cold of the night, he'd reached out to touch the child sleeping beside him. I don't think that's a 5-star first line. It's definitely intriguing though and brings you in for sure. So we could read The Road. Next is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. So this book is a Christmassy book in some ways, but really a twisted one, so I think you could read it at any time. And in it we follow Vic McQueen. When she's young, she's very adventurous, and unfortunately she runs into a man named Charles Talent Manx. And this man is a kidnapper. He kidnaps little kids. He loves to take children for rides in his 1938 Rolls Royce, and he ends up going to Christmas Land, which I think kids don't come back from, except for Vic. Vic has been able to escape him, and has come back. And I think she grows up. She is trying to kind of forget everything that happened to her in Christmas Land, but Charlie won't let her. Charlie is actually obsessed with Vic, the one child that got away, and he's on the road again. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Let's read the first line. Here's the prologue. Season's greetings, December 2008. This takes place in Colorado. First line. Nurse Thornton dropped into the long-term care ward a little before 8 with a hot bag of blood for Charlie Manx. Sounds like fun. It sounds like fun. And last but not least is Perfect Days by Rafael Montes. So this takes place in Rio de Janeiro. We follow Tio, who is a medical student. And he, at medical school, meets Clarice. And he becomes obsessed with her. And he thinks the only thing I need with Clarice to like win her over is a little time with her. And so he abducts her and takes her on a horrible, very long road trip in which she's, I'm imagining, trying to get away from this madman. So let's read the first line of Perfect Days. Okay. Gertrude was the only person Teo liked. Not a 5-star first line, but still really good. So now I need to dwindle it down to 2. Okay, I've made the choices. I'm really excited to see what you guys are gonna choose. We could read Survive the Night by Riley Sager, or we could read Nosferatu for July. I cannot wait to take this ride with you guys. Again, if you want to choose between these two, if you want to read one of these with us in July, the link is always in the description box below, and we would love for you to join us. Can't wait to see what you guys choose. Bye!